to Mool Matters, a podcast where we discuss where we are today, how we got here, and we try to get to the root of it. I am Gormuk, and we are here with someone very special. But before we begin this conversation, I want to go back to a quote that's hopefully going to tie all of this together. Change doesn't begin with public policy, and it doesn't wait for a campaign. It actually often starts with something far more intimate. Change begins with one conversation. And that's why we're here today with Brother Tarsem Singh. Bhai, why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction? Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Anji, my name is Tarsem Singh. I was born in England in 1970. So I've grown up in a pretty poor family, I guess, at the time, away from Siki. My parents didn't really go to Gurdwara. I didn't understand much at the time. And I kind of got interested in IT and computing from a young age. That's kind of where I went in terms of a career. But so I went to university and I had a spiritual change when I was at university. Ironically, it was when I was away from my family. So, you have a sandwich year in UK. So I went away from home, and I guess I got a bit of a discovery. Who am I a little bit, I guess. All right. I started getting towards this Guru and Guru Shabad, Guru Nanak. What's all that about? And I learned Punjabi by myself. I learned Punjabi in 28 days, what we call Gurmukhi.
Okay, yeah.
But so I didn't have a teacher for that. So I just tried it. I was discovering. I read books and went to a Siki seminar kind of thing, a one-day thing. But my mum had changed, and she'd done Amrit like about 2-3 years before I kind of was getting interested.
Okay.
So that was that was nice. It was nice to have a little bit of my mum's interest, I guess. But I didn't understand Punjabi. I never spoke Punjabi at all until I was age 22.
22?
So, 22, yeah.
Oh my goodness,
so
okay.
I was speaking English.
Yeah.
So mum would say, Roti kinni khani hai? He'd say 2. Mum, I'm leaving. I'm going. Mum, I'm back. Because we never spoke Punjabi at all. So it was part of the discovery was the language, just trying to say, okay, do I speak Punjabi? Let's try and speak Punjabi. Yeah. But I grew up in a kind of it was gangsterism.
Yeah, okay.
Gangsterism a little bit, okay. Public enemy, all this kind of, that's what we used to do, that stuff. I want to kill a cop.
Yeah.
911's a joke and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it was kind of very American, but it was that fear of a black planet thing.
Yeah.
It didn't quite relate, but that rebellion thing.
You felt a little bit of a connection, something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of, I was there. I'd get suspended from school twice. I got suspended in sixth form, which is a new for the school. You're not supposed to get suspended in sixth form. That's where you're supposed to be mature.
Sure. Okay.
But it was. I think I got a little bit of that still. It's that little rebellion kind of thing. But I saw it in Siki. And I think what happened was Siki, when you're kind of like that, you need something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing bigger than you.
Absolutely.
The way you think, there's nothing bigger. Absolutely. It's like me, myself, everything's about me. I'll get through this. I left school really wanting to be. I'm sorry, I know I'm just trying to. Things are coming back to me.
You're good.
But I left school saying I don't want to work.
Okay.
So the school just removed all aspiration from me. The way that it was the way the schooling was in that school.
Yeah.
It was non-monitored kind of schooling.
Okay. Yeah.
Work it out yourself, kind of. You're there, off you go.
Yeah.
So I had to discover what did I want as well at that time. And I coming back to that computing thing, that I had an interest in that. Bit nerdy kind of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Nerdy stuff. But it was just strange. My mum bought me a Commodore 64, these old things, and that was a lot of money for them at the time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It was about £225 at that time, and that's like 1980 something early.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money for. They were on we were on the line for getting grants and things.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's this Siki thing became. I went and I spoke to a guy. His name is Nirmal Singh. He's passed away now.
Okay.
And that was that seminar, and he sat me next to himself.
Yeah.
So I've got this earring in, I've got a gold chain, and he sat me. He said, "You sit next to me here," and he just talked about Guru Gobind Singh Ji.
Oh, okay.
And he's just there, and this character that I've never really heard enough or much about Guruji. And one of the things that sticks with me, he said, he goes, I wake up at 3 a.m. And he goes, I hate waking up at 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, okay. Tell me.
And he goes, it's hard and it's cold because it's England, and winters ain't grey in England.
Yeah.
So
us Canadians understand winters. We've mastered the art of winter.
The water's really cold in Canada, even in summer. But it's he, and the thing that he said was, but Guruji is just seeing which of his Gursikh love him back,
Bruh.
And that hurt, a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's saying that the Sikh will wake up, and Guru loves that. Meri gal man li. And that, I'd never heard anything like that before. I was not answerable to anybody.
Sure, yeah.
I was like, because my father was a labourer. He was in, labour. He worked in a foundry in UK, and that's what the jobs were at the time.
Foundry is like a factory.
It's where they're working in the flames basically.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So they were making engines and things, but it was all the moulding part. So they used all the Indians for that work, because nobody wanted to do it. So he's in that work, and he's coming home having 2 bottles every day of beer. And so he's very disconnected. His idea of marriage and raising children was, I earn money, I give it to my wife, and they're your responsibility.
Right.
It was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when you, I looked into now. I studied a whole load of stuff, but I'll come to it later. But my mum didn't realize, but she's making a criminal.
Oh, okay.
She didn't realize.
Okay.
She's really making a criminal. It's a disconnected person.
Something disconnected. Yeah.
Very disconnected thing, and more because warmth comes from a broad family.
Sure. Yeah.
So when you have grandparents, they're all in India.
Well, this is why we talk about it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm always joking that it's a grandparent's job to teach the child love.
Absolutely.
And it's the parents' job to guide the child gently through life. Yeah.
Yeah, and cousins.
Yeah.
So we didn't get on just because our parents didn't get on.
Sure. Yeah.
So we didn't have cousins really. And education, when that's weak, which it was, spirituality, non-existent. And then law and order. That's kind of what makes roundedness, is accepting rules and laws. A child understands boundaries.
Yeah.
There weren't none. So I was effectively a criminal. So I used to steal. I did loads of stuff like that. As you went out, we never had it. Go and steal it.
Gotta get it. Did what you needed to do.
Yeah. And the thing I didn't get into though, which I don't know why, was drinking. I went out. I just didn't like it.
Sure.
I don't know why. I would have been in trouble if I would like that.
Yeah.
If I went into substances, I would have been a problem. There would be a problem there. So I've come out there and made this discovery, and it was beautiful. So I was living away from home.
Oh man, you are for everyone listening. Bhaji made the connection. He was wearing an earring. If you're listening and you see Bhaji Tarsem Singh now, he's got a wicked dari. He's wearing a sarofa. He's got a beautiful dastar on. This dude is just an overall beautiful human. I've had the pleasure of hanging with Bhaji for the last what are we on, 7 days? We've hung out for the 7 days. I've never met him before. I've seen him on YouTube, and we came into each other's sangat. I have a belief that we were meant to meet, and we connected on a couple of things. One of the big things is this spirituality aspect. I'm of the effective belief that we are in a state of basically spiritual homelessness. And when we had this discussion, we've been hanging out. We're coming off of 5 days at the Sikh recovery retreat where we were in deep with our feelings, discovering and guiding and feeling and doing and acting. But most importantly, we were surrendering.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were sharing bits and pieces of ourselves with other people. And we were learning about ourselves, I think, too.
We were absorbing a lot of emotion and trauma.
Yeah.
It makes you really compare your life. I mean, when I see that, like I say, I could have easily have been one of those people on the other side of that.
And it's fascinating when we're thinking about Sangat as a mirror, hey? And what's being reflected back at you and what you're hearing and everything else.
Yeah.
That actually brings a question up. And I thought about this a little bit earlier. And when we start thinking about religion, yes, it's a tough topic. Yes, religion has damaged a lot of individuals, unfortunately, when it wasn't meant to. Siki is about love, acceptance, surrender. When I met you, I was excited, I was happy. I was ready for a challenge. And one of the thoughts that came to mind was, how do we have an honest conversation about how religion sometimes becomes performative? And how that ties back into that performance is actually also part of the issue, because that pulls us away from the spirit that's supposed to connect us all. And now the more and more I think about it and having this conversation with you, how did you settle in, and how do you navigate when it comes to religion becoming something that, especially Siki, because you love it, I love it, I just don't look the part.
You're not far away.
For people that are listening, I got a big beer too. It's getting salt and peppery now. We made this joke with Brother Gavir last episode. How do you navigate thoughts and conversations when you know that an individual you may be talking to, it might just be something that's performative for them, and it's not a love. So how do you navigate the love when you think of the spirit? Yeah,
I mean, love is a big topic, and we did cover love in understanding what that is. And I think it's very easy for religion to become performance, tick box, ritual. It's all the things that Guruji's condemned. We have kind of got there. If you look at the Sikh faith, not everybody. I've met some great Guru Sikhs. But if you look at from mainstream, if you can use a word like that, it's become very much like, as long as you wear a turban, you do your nityanim, you kind of wear bana or a karban or 5Ks, whatever you want to call it, and you got a single gaur on your name, you're a Sikh. Kind of that doesn't sit with me very well anymore, That's probably where I might have started even early on, is that when you know nothing, you just know what you're told.
Right.
You're not researched anything.
Sure.
You discover things yourself. Guru's message is actually very, very beautiful, and it's about connection. You can be disconnected. Guru Sikh does all the things I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Totally disconnected. And that's devoid of love. Love is all about connection, right?
Right.
And so why does it get there? I think that's the question. I've been fortunate. We've been in Amritsar Jagdi Seva, and I've seen, for quite a long time. I was before. I don't do it now, but I was. You do see people's jivan because it's kind of told there. Especially when people are returning after having done Amrit and maybe made a mistake or something. But,
Sure. Yeah.
You know, you do get an idea that what really is Sikhi. What do we think it is? And I think that conversation is a deep conversation.
Yeah.
And it's a challenging one. And I think it breaks down a whole load of thing about what we actually think Sikhi is.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, we have to have those conversations. And even when we, you know, going back to the retreat, we talked about addicts,
let's do it.
and you know that I don't want to talk to them about wearing a bug.
Okay.
They should discover that themselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's how I've been doing Sikhi classes for years. I was doing them for years, since the late 1990s. And I never ever told anyone to do Amrit when I was teaching, mentoring, or whatever you want to use, what word we want to use, vichar. You know? That's not what we're teaching. We're teaching the foundation of what Sikhi is, and you tell me where you want to take it. And that's what Why Am I Here was. I wrote a book on spirituality.
That's right, you did.
And that book is to say, let's remove the traditions.
Yes.
Let's talk about Guruji and what's Guruji saying.
Right, yes.
And then we could talk about the traditions at the end. They'll make more sense. So they were done right as a kind of an indexy list.
Sure, yeah.
To say this is what Sikhs do.
Yeah.
But that's what I think it's been taught and understood the wrong way around. And the Gurbani's message is so beautiful. And obviously we're talking about homelessness, spiritual homelessness.
Yes, sir.
You know, and Guruji's saying we haven't got home. You know, we haven't got home. Jo kar shad gawavana, so laga man mahe. The home that you're going to lose, you're going to leave behind, you're totally engrossed in it.
Yeah.
Jithe jaye to the vartana, tiski chinta nahi. Now Guru saying where the home you're going to go to, you have got no chinta. And chinta, that word is a beautiful word because it's about feeling anxious.
Yes, sir.
Chinta is anxiousness, and sog is like depression in Gurbani. You know, it's very much sadness and depression. But anxiety is in chinta. And Guru saying you're not anxious, even if you don't even think about it. But you've not got a real home.
And it's fascinating. It's fascinating that you brought up the words and you made that connection with anxiety and depression. When we're talking about anxiety, we're always talking about future states. Ki hoega. And depression, it takes you back. You're thinking about what happened.
Yeah.
But rarely do we find ourselves truly connected. And when we're connected, you're living right in the middle.
Hanji.
Right?
Hanji.
And then we add this layer of like, we start thinking culture.
Yeah.
Now we're thinking cultural pride.
Yeah.
How it kind of overshadows now too. So we're coming up on a lot of layers, and we're looking at like this, how we're gonna work and reconnect and become individuals who are connected to the spirit. It's difficult. It's raw. And I think because we just came off of this retreat, I think we're both feeling a little bit more vulnerable and ready to push the tempo. We're ready to sit a little closer on the edge when it comes to these difficult conversations, especially what it means to connect.
Absolutely.
Because I also have this firm belief. When you are ready to connect, you will start doing whatever you think a Sikh is supposed to do, right? But it takes a level of when you're ready.
Yeah.
So of course we're not going to tell individuals to tie the star because that's going to be the individual's choice. But we're out here planting seeds, right? And I think that's that seed planting. Like, what more were we meant to do? And sometimes it feels like that's exactly what we just came off of and started to do.
Yeah, it's that word of spirituality. Because I don't like these words.
And they're so tough to navigate, right? Yeah. Like, especially when we're looking at it from a Western context, right? Because it narrows down what the Guru is trying to say. We can't contain what the Guru is trying to say in the language that we're speaking in right now.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
What's spiritual awareness? Sometimes, it can be something as basic as just being aligned with your bodily feelings and your function. That can be regarded as a bit more internal rather than external.
Yeah.
But the Guru's, what our Guru's teaching us is we've got to go back to where we've come from. Everything over and above that is a game.
And
going to get a game.
yes, we need to start walking our way home.
Yeah.
Walking back to where we came from. And that makes me think about how we are even becoming less honest when it becomes, this is difficult to say, because part of me is like, in order for us to even have these conversations, we have to admit to the fact that cultural pride overshadows emotional honesty. And you need emotional honesty to connect to anything. Well, I'm just going to say anything, period. Like, we need to be emotionally honest to be like, we are one. And that's the only way to get there. But then there's this wicked layer of cultural pride.
And the pride for us, what was our culture? It's Punjabi, let's say. Let's take that.
Yeah, Punjabi is so easy for us to navigate. So let's just say it's Punjabi for now.
It's Punjabi. And being a Punjabi is actually not a bad thing. It's actually a very, very strong community if you think across countries.
I think it's an absolute gift. Yeah.
In UK, it's certainly second or third as the strongest community in
sure,
the UK.
Yeah.
And so, but that's not who we are really. That's where we've come from physically.
Sure.
Physically.
Yeah, from the area of Punjab, not as we know it. For folks that are listening, the Punjab as we know it isn't the essence of Punjab. Yeah. Colonialism had a lot to do with what we see now. But yeah.
And also when we look at the characters of Siki, who were the ones that Guruji says, that's mine, that's my Sikh. Even when you take the Panjapyare, they were from all over India.
Everywhere.
They were from everywhere. Yeah. So Guruji didn't look at it and say, well, let's find the Punjab one. So being Punjabi is great. There's nothing, but there's also a non-spiritual side of being Punjabi, which I think has damaged the Sikh part.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And when you go down there, there's all sorts of things about who we are as a Punjabi. Now, if we remove that layer for a minute and say, but you're a Sikh. Remove that layer for a minute. You're a Jod. Let's go back to Guru Granth Sahib. Guru says, "Man, do Jod Swaroop hai, apna mool pashan." Your Jod Swaroop. Have you accepted the actual value of what you are? Because we're clearly not operating like Jod Swaroop. We're operating maybe like a Punjabi. We're operating maybe like a ritualistic Sikh. We're not operating like a Jod Swaroop. And Jod Swaroop is where all those emotions are. So when you read Gurbani is talking about Upja. This word called Upja comes. Guru says Saj Upja, Sukh Upja, Shant Upja, Pao Upja, Pao Upja. And all these words are spiritual words. And those guna often got, why Guru's called those things?
Yeah, absolutely.
Their naam Santokhiya. Now Santokh is contentment. Now why Guru's called contentment?
Yeah.
Nirpal. He's got no fear. But fear is a positive thing if it breeds love. Because actually fear is the foundation of love. Love doesn't happen if there's no fear. If you look at and let's explore that for a second.
Let's just dive into that for a quick second, because fear leaves you feeling naked. Fear leaves you feeling exposed. Fear shows you who you might actually be at the core. So there's nothing more surrenderous. Sometimes nothing more, no more level of surrender than when it comes to fear.
Yeah, and if fear is misdirected, then you become ritualistic.
Boom. And absolutely.
Yeah. So when we talked about that social part, or being nice in the community but losing your inner essence. It's the fear of respect, self-respect. That's the wrong fear. Guruji is saying don't have that fear. The fear is saying, Guruji is saying have fear of your connection to Waheguru breaking. That's the fear of Siki.
Yeah.
And when that connection breaks, Guruji says a Bhagad gets upset. And so when we look at worldly examples, Guruji used them like a mother loves her baby. Right. But she's got a fear that something's going to happen to the baby. Yeah. And there's many other examples of machi. Guru says a fish loves the water. It's fearful of being taken away from the water.
Sure. Yeah.
And so where Gurbani states is that Nanak jana mana pao, tina mana pao. You can only have love if you've got fear. You know,
and when we start thinking about this, right? Because you said, and I think I wholeheartedly agree, because there is a level of nakedness that's required for you to love. There is a level of surrender that's required for you to love. It makes me want to even think and explore, even minorly navigate how we've become so ritualistic, and we've actually gone away from. I mean, I don't mind the word ritual, but how we've become so routine that because we were routine, we forgot to pay attention to what we're actually doing. So people, and like I like to define routines and rituals differently. You do a routine and you can rush through it. If you have a ritual, you're not going to rush through it. The ritual you might actually love, because that might have saved you. There's a connection. There's something emotional there, and you're trying to make that connection. But a routine, we rush through them all the time.
Yeah. But I guess a ritual could be a routine as well.
Yeah, we're totally interchangeable.
Nithanim is a ritual, but it's a routine. Huh?
Yeah.
And that's where I think when let's talk about Siki. I mean, one of the main reasons that we're here. Like, let's just. But the ritual part. I mean, it's because as a Gursikh, if you start waking up early, right, you do something slightly more than your Nithanim. Right, you go Gurdwara more than once a week. You're going to be in a very high percentile. You're going to be in a very small percentage. Yeah. And often why it becomes a routine is because you already feel that you're better. You feel that I'm doing okay, because if I look at everybody else, they're not even doing these things. Then the ritual or the routine, I'll say the loveless part of it.
Thank you. The loveless part of it. There you go. Yeah.
The loveless part of it then becomes justified, because you're better than you feel that you're better than others.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and it's not even that hard to do that, because most people don't wake up early, and most people probably don't do much more than 5 Vaniya. So many might not do 5 Vaniya. So you quickly become top ranked in your own brain. You know, but you've got to break that, because Guruji is saying this is about virle. Jagame uttam kadiye virle kahi. Virle means there's only a few people. There's only a few. They're rare. It's a very small percentage, and that's all about what Guruji is saying. The connected ones. Even that shall we read in Reras. Antar Guru Radhana. How many people actually inside do that? That loving thing. Jeva jab Guru now. Netri Sadguru Pekana. You know, so ears, eyes. How much are they connected, rather than just like saying, okay, I've got to get through this part. Which is very easy. What happens to,
and we've become individuals who are constantly doing, rather than feeling.
Absolutely.
Which again pulls us right out of that spiritual disconnect, that spiritual homelessness. We forget. As soon as you forget to feel, there's no connection to the spirit. There's no love.
You know the really crazy thing about the whole thing is that where we find our home. It's actually through people.
Absolutely.
It's through the Sangat.
Absolutely.
The home, what Guruji is saying is that's the real home, is that how to treat the Sangat, and eventually humanity becomes your Sangat.
Bhaji, we're all just here to kind of walk each other home.
100%. Yeah.
We're all just here to walk alongside each other and walk each other home.
To the point where, there's a Shabad that talks about what is such.
Okay.
When we say what is such.
Okay.
Getting back home is such, obviously, that's what we're talking about here. But one of them, Daya Jane Ji ki, Kish Pun Dana Kare. Guru saying, a person who there's a Shabad is such tam par jani hai, jare sacha hoye, kur ki malum kare tan kare hacha so. But here, Guru saying, such tam par jani, that person's understood such if Daya Jane Ji ki, they have compassion for another soul. Kish punna dana kare. Unanu punna te dana kar diya. They give something. Now they're finding their home. Now we're finding our home. Because our home, even Guruji says, Garib da muh Guru da gol kya. Now you're finding your home.
Now you're finding it,
If you give to the poor, That's the real golak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Gurdwara, we put money in the golak.
Absolutely.
That's the real golak.
Absolutely.
So you have to find Waheguru through Maharaj's creation.
Mm-hmm.
And humanity, you have to find it through humanity. So you have to be a humanitarian.
Man, you are a beauty of a human.
I wouldn't say that.
You are a beauty of here. I'm a small town country boy. So when beauty is one of our words, man, you are a beauty of a human. And I love that you are sharing. There's that word love. Yeah. Because we're connecting, man.
Yeah.
And I love that you're sharing the way that you're sharing. Truthfully, honestly, meeting individuals, us, me, the team, just where we are in life.
But and the team you're talking about is humanitarian too, right? Because what you guys have done.
Absolutely. The team
is a crazy bit of seva, huh?
Yeah.
It's not being done.
It's something.
Yeah, it's not being done, right?
And it's not being done. We are on an incredible journey together to plant seeds everywhere we go, and through the art of conversation, through seva, with sangat, with Simran flowing through us. One of the things that we started saying at camp, Seva Simran Sangat is our camp. Sorry, one thing we started saying at the retreat was Seva Simran Sangat. One is a lifeline, the other is a mirror, one is a compass.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about raw honesty, yo, we had a technical issue. We worked it out. In the end, it ended up being another gift because we ended up taking a break, which was nice. Both Baji and I, we're battling fatigue, and we're being honest. We're battling fatigue from being away, being connected to nature for the last 5 days. And where we had left off was the 3 pillars of connection. Seva, Simran, Sangat. One is a mirror, one is a lifeline, and one is a compass. And I'm going to let all y'all listening, watching, wherever you may be, navigate which is which. But an interesting conversation arose as we were hanging out. And when we ask sometimes the difficult question, when you ask somebody what stage they're at in life, an individual reminded us of where he was recently. And what he had said, he was like, I'm at this stage where the alarm is going off and I'm deciding whether I want to hit snooze or not. And I'm like, oh man, what a beautiful reply and a way to make us start navigating this conversation. So when we're thinking of spirituality, the question really becomes why? What's your motivation behind it? And a near impossible question, right? Like what? Like why do we need spiritualism? Why? And when I think of healing, especially in the Sikh community, the Punjabi Sikh community, I look at it from 4 lenses. I look at it from the biological, the psychological, the social, and the spiritual. I look at it as a sturdy chair. Each one of those things is a leg on that chair. If one thing's rickety, that chair, you're going to be sitting rickety. Yeah. And I feel like it's essential. I personally feel like you need to have a level of surrender, acceptance, and belief in something. And that's that spiritual connection. But why?
That's a great question, and I think it hits at the heart of what our Guru is saying, really, is that Sabkesh karma bahar nahi. We're talking about house, spiritual home.
Yeah, you see, again, man, you are coming up and you're dropping something on us so quickly, so beautifully. Yes, take it.
It says, Sabkesh karma bahar nahi, bahar tole suparam pulahi. Guru said, whoever's looking outwards is going to fall into this wilderness and they're going to get deluded. So external has obviously got a pull. It's attractive. We need to do it because we're human beings. Waheguru's given us eyes and ears and nose and things. That's for external. It's external. It's whether you can use that external, let's say those external senses, and see God inside of those things. That's the essence of Siki. Guru's saying, use your eyes to see. Can you see God now?
Mm.
Use your ears to listen. Can you hear God now? Use your tongue to speak and taste. Now, can you taste God? Can you speak God? So when we keep going outwardly, the inside dies. It dies.
Sure.
And that inner death is painful. Now, how much you feel it is dependent on your distraction. That's what Guruji calls Maya.
Yeah.
So how deep the distraction is, it's almost like the numbness. And, it's great we were talking about addiction, because Guruji says really what we're doing, Maya becomes our wine. It becomes our shrab.
Sure, yeah.
It's called Maya mud. That's why, because when we're drinking it, the pain of the soul is getting drowned out. You're drowning it away. Now, so the awakening is when that internal thing says, no, I'm in control. And Guruji used this example, like, the body's controlling the mind, which is strange. He used it, he says that's like the car pulling the horse.
I know where you're going. Yes,
he's pulling all the opposite things. The fish sitting on the tree trunk, tree on the branch. It's not sitting in the water. It's gone. Everything's gone opposite. Like almost like a cat chasing the dog. He's used. Guruji uses lots of examples like that. And so it's gone backwards. Really, we don't see it as backwards. We see that as the right way.
Sure.
But the right way is go inwards. That's what Guruji said. Thir kar baiso har jan pyare, Sadgur tumre kaaj sware. Sit in your home. Sit centered in your home. And Guruji sorts all your affairs out. Now you've got to find a home. So the problem is we're going back to our original.
Well, here you go. Say it. We are all here to eventually walk each other home. And we find that in the essence of what we've been trying to say and share, it always goes back to those 3 words. I'm going to let y'all dissect what those 3 words are, because we've said them a few times. I'm going to let y'all figure out which is which too, because let's just talk about the word God for 2 seconds too. Earlier in the conversation, we had said that the knowledge that our gurus so lovingly gave us, and you have said, use it as a guide. And we translate it into a language that doesn't actually embrace what the Guruji is saying. We start using words like God. And what we know about the word God is that from no offense to anybody as I'm saying this, I'm just trying to have a raw, honest conversation, but when we know the word God from a Christian Catholicism, Western lens, it's punitive. God's up there. We forget that God might actually be here. God might be the space, the space between words, that breath in between words. God might just be breath. And when we start thinking about it, actually, there's so many words that can describe divinity. And I've taken like a personal mission to just stop using the word God. I try to use divinity. I try to find something new. I'll go to JobSite and find some new descriptor, and I'll make it a goal to be like, that's my descriptive word for the day, because I'm working towards that connection and truly understanding.
So JobSite is a good example of why names don't matter. JobSite is all about names, but why names don't matter. Where we start. Tav sarvanam kathe kavan karvanam barat sumat. Well, Guruji is saying, how can I even contemplate on all your names? How many names have you got? Because your names have been established by someone seeing a karma that you're doing. So something that Waheguru is doing gives us a name. Gopal, looking after the whole world. The sustainer. And what the special thing about an Allah, the one and all, the merciful. And each one of those names have been given based on an attribute. Now the beauty of Waheguru, the word Waheguru is, it wasn't based on an attribute. It was based on actually a concept called Bismadhi. Bismadhi is when something happens, you experience it, but you can't say what it is. That's called Bismadhi.
That was a great descriptor.
So Waheguru is like Wah. Waheguru.
I mean, wow. There you go.
and you go beyond names.
There you go.
You've just gone beyond names.
There you go.
And even the fateh that we use, Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki fateh. Now where am I in that fateh?
Yeah.
The Khalsa belongs to Waheguru, and the victory is all Waheguru's. No home.
No,
No home.
we are nailing it. We are being mindful of our time, because I think we can explore this for a wild ride. And I want to tie this back to the very beginning of this conversation. And I'm going to go into my little notebook here before I butcher one of my favorite quotes. Change doesn't begin with public policy, and it doesn't wait for a campaign. It actually often starts with something far more intimate. Change begins with one conversation. Brother, you are a beauty of a human. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for being raw. Thank you for being honest. And with that, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.